Thank you for joining us after the coffee break, and I'm hoping we've left the best for last. It's been a very engaging day, great conversations, a lot of good discussions, great questions, and I hope everyone's been enjoying the proceedings. This is the final panel of the day, the Iranian banking sector. I won't go into detail of the bios of the panelists. It's all in the handout. I'll leave you to have a look at that. But just starting from my right-hand side, we've got Farshad Noshadi, Vice President of East Strategy at Saman Bank. He's a man of many talents. Not only is he involved in East Strategy, but he's also been a master chef and a passionate chef as well, a cook. Iran, as has been mentioned already, is an Islamic banking nation. Islamic banking assets in Iran total nearly $500 billion. That's larger, to put that in context, that's larger than Saudi, Malaysia, and UAE combined. Absolutely. And that, I'm going to bring Farshad in now to talk about electronic banking, e-banking. Just a note to the audience, he's very kindly agreed to be with us here today, having postponed his trip to California to attend the Google conference that's ongoing at the moment. However, he does have an 8 p.m. flight at Heathrow, so he will be excused in the next 10 minutes or so. But Farshad, if I may draw you in now, tell us more about e-banking in Iran, what's going on there. Is there anything like fintech going on? What's happening there?
Wow. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Actually, this is more important than the Google conference, frankly. It's nice to be with you guys. I just want to talk about why I think it's an amazing historical opportunity, investment in Iran today. I want to talk about, I'm a British Iranian living in this country for 45 years. In the last 10 years, I've been going back and forward and seeing our lovely bank, Saman Bank, which is one of the leading private banks, the way we've actually grown, the way the technology has exploded in Iran. I just see it as like an amazing practice compared to some of the other best European or banks that I see in America. There are a few things I just want to just talk about which inspires me. I get so excited about. These are figures that come from the Central Bank of Iran and also Wikipedia. Right now the population of 80 million people in Iran, 97% are banked. You know, that's one of the highest rates, probably even better than what you would find maybe in the UK. Or in Germany right now. 60% right now are interconnected to the internet, and 4G has been deployed now thoroughly throughout Iran in the last sort of 6 months, extensively. I see fiber networks are now coming slowly through. Of course, there are government controls, but the internet penetration into the population is becoming very, very major. And of course, that is a prerequisite, I think, for a very, very successful economy. The sort of things that I'm very, very excited about. And I occasionally, every year, I talk in Dubai at the Retail Banking Conference to our Arab friends, and they get shocked when they hear what market share Iran has. For example, today in Iran, we have over 100 million smartphones that are activated. We have got...
One per person.
No, not per person, per population. And we have 2.1 million point of sales that are activated. Okay, some of them don't work properly, but there's an amazing figure. The payment internet gateway of our bank, Saman Electronic Payment Gateway, is now the 30th largest payment gateway in the world, even though we were suffering from sorts of sanctions and international restrictions. That, I think, is an amazing point, and I really go there and I kiss these guys and I say, you've done an amazing work to be able to achieve that sort of level. Debit and credit card. Anyone want to guess how many debit and credit cards are now active in the Shetab system in Iran today? 80 million, roughly figure 280 million debit cards.
280 million.
280 million. Yes, my friends in the UAE, for years I've been saying...
3 each.
It is. The UAE, every year I've been telling this to our UAE friends in our major UAE banks. They sort of say, oh, that's fantastic. But this year, just a few weeks ago, now there are no sanctions, they were queuing up. They say, how can we get involved? How can we work with Saman Bank and other banks? How can we develop relations? Because they can see this market share is amazing. And if you compare that to some of the other, or if you put all the other Middle Eastern countries together, you will see that the numbers here in Iran are amazing. and probably outstanding. The other thing that I'm very, very impressed in, out of the 80 million, we have 7.5 million university graduates. And a significant majority, I think just over, are the women, which I'm very, really proud to see. I mean, my driver, when I go to Iran, he drives me around. And I say, well, what did you do? He said, I'm a driver now. He's got a PhD in architecture, which is such a shame when I see that. I'm involved in many of the fintech and startups, which are springing up all over the place. Last year alone, in Iran, we've got like 3 or 4 accelerator programs, incubators that are set up here, Startup 500. I'm an advisor to a number of them, and I see that they're actually growing tremendously. I'm actually going to, 2 years ago, I was part of Silicon Valley Bridge at Berkeley University about how Silicon Valley will really want to invest in Iran. And obviously, because of sanctions, weren't there. But Babak Parviz, who is the vice president of Amazon, Omid Kurdistani, who is the CEO at one point of Google, now he's a Twitter. They were all saying Iran is an amazing market. As soon as sanctions allow us, we want to set up our research and development. We want to come in that country. And I think recently, just as of about a month or so ago, Google have removed the restrictions on real-time traffic and mapping system. Google Analytics are now being activated in Iran. And I'm really, really proud to say that Saman Bank, we're one of the first apps, and I know, we all know, smartphone technology is the future. I've talked about this all over the world. And Saman Bank, we've focused on providing the best usable Saman application. And one of the things I'm really glad, 2 months ago, we're one of the first banks to fully approve to list our Saman Bank app on the iOS Apple platform. Up till then, it was all sanctioned. So we are now the official Iranian bank that you can actually get on that platform. What I'm saying is that it's an amazing opportunity now. And if you look at also, I look at the share prices right now, and in these majority of the banks, like our bank, is worth like 3p, 4p. Considering the market share, the Saman Bank has got 3 or 4 million population. We normally have got the creme, or we like to think we have the creme de la creme, but of course we have.
That's what they all say.
That's what they all say, yes, yes. But I mean, if you then compare a comparable to Barclays Bank, to Lloyds Bank, to sort of think their share prices, I mean, I know I'm being very superficial, 20, 30 pounds. So I think Iran, if you look at the investment opportunity in Iran, it's amazing. And normally when sanctions are removed in any of these countries, such as, let's say, China or Soviet Union, when it was removed, the 3 growth sectors are telecommunication, petrochemical and oil industry, and banking. And I think banking, build up a relationship today. I know there's a slight little risk factor, but I think the rewards are outstanding in terms of investment in Iran. I mean, one of the things I've just found in the last 10 years, the amount of innovations and technologies, like, for example, Saman Bank, we've actually took the best ideas that we saw Barclays Bank, Bank of America, and adopted that to our branch. Today, when you go, we've got a really, really nice, cool, open branches here, very welcoming. We have a flower budget. We've got a friendly little family section, which has come on in.
Just bringing you back to the technology side of things.
I'm just passionate about the banking.
And to give you an opportunity to take a breath, I was fascinated to hear about fintech.
Amazing.
Tell me, what do you see in terms of fintech in Iran?
Well, I see right now about over 200 successful fintechs happening in Iran. There are 3 or 4 accelerators. Some of the biggest universities, Sharif University, are all setting up their own fintech. There's Avatech that I'm an advisor on. And Saman Bank, such as other banks, are deliberately looking specifically at investing and encouraging fintech. Because like a lot of you guys, you realize that, you know, banks traditionally have legacy employees. They're worried about their wages, they're worried about their insurance. They're not really interested in being dynamic. So the best way, right, we see right now in San Francisco, investment in Iranian banks are now investing in startups tremendously and supporting them. Many of them got their accelerator program. You'd be amazed at right now, I mean, there was a recent program where they said that the best fintech startup will get a winning prize of $5,000. And people were prepared to, that would be sufficient to keep them going for a year.
Wow.
In Silicon Valley, yeah. You know, they won't even get out of bed for $1 million.
They won't even buy lunch.
It's amazing. So I'm saying it's amazing opportunity in Iran to invest in fintech and particularly the banking sector.
That's fascinating to hear. Thank you very much. Farshad, I know you have to run, but you've kindly agreed to take a couple of questions from the floor.
Absolute privilege.
If anybody's got any questions about technology, fintech, anything like that, to Farshad, this is your opportunity before he has to run off to the airport.
No extra cost.
No? There's a question over there.
Go ahead.
Thank you. My question is about utilities in the financial services sector in Iran. Are there any utilities? Is there appetite for utility solutions? What is the sort of perception? Because here, of course, there's a lot of back office being moving into utilities. You see utilities around collateral management, etc., etc. And I'm quite keen to understand how that's going in Iran.
So utility in terms of infrastructure?
Yes.
Yes, I mean, there's an amazing initiatives that are taking place, like Iran has got its own, developing its own cloud technology here. As I said, the infrastructure of the internet is exploding tremendously. Smartphone penetration is everywhere. But on top of utilities, I think one of the things that I'm really, really proud, once again, obviously I'm a Saman Bank, I love Saman, so I'm going to be talking about, one of the things I love about the bank is that we realize credit rating is such an important, these are, electronic payment, great smartphone technology, these are all the things, paying your utility bill straightforward from your mobile, these are all the things that enable much more efficient society. And one of the things that I'm really, really proud is that the Bank of Saman, many, many years ago, we decided to invest in one of Iran's first private credit rating agencies, which has now been used by Iran Khodro, MTN, Iran Cell. These are, for example, if you want a credible Airbnb or Uber technology or whatever, if you want to give out loans, you need to have a credit rating agency. So we at the bank are trying to set up the infrastructure, the platform for the future growth of the fintechs.
I don't think someone spent enough on technology, from what I've heard.
You can never get enough.
I know you have to run. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
It was a pleasure having you on the panel, and safe flight.
Thank you so much. Thank you.